Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. The topic tonight is so relatable. Um, as you all, I'm taking you all on a healing journey with me, taking you down this path journey with me, and even bringing you back down the journey that I have been on. And now I'm where I'm at today, still progressing, still healing, but I feel better than I have ever been. Um, God has taken me so he has really been good to me. He's taken me so far, and I owe it all to him. And I can't I can't express how much I love the Lord and what He's doing in my life for me and the kids, and even for you all, and how He works through me to give you all, have that hope, that joy that's being created. And I want to talk a little bit about the question after the abuse: who am I? That question came to me so many times up on my healing journey and after the abuse. And as I got to a certain stage in my healing, um, because you're not going to automatically even think about yourself at this time, because after the abuse, you go through a cycle, you go through different stages where you think more about the why, even the person. So you so busy trying to end the relationship that was, you had. So you trying to piece things together. You trying to figure out what went wrong. Why did this happen? You're gonna go through the stage. Why this happened to me? Um, you're gonna wanna break the no contact. It's so much that goes into the stages in your journey of healing. And when you do that, you don't think of, you're not thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about your mental health. You're not thinking about healing. You're not thinking about anything. You are thinking about the hurt. So those who've been through domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, emotional, mental, physical abuse, um, any type of abuse, sexual abuse, molestation, those who've been there, you're there are times where you will get to that point in your journey. You will get to that place where you are going to see a lot of layers being peeled over, peel a lot of layers. God is going to show you so much. And everyone's journey isn't the same. So each each individualized healing for anyone. You can't go by um someone else's, you can't follow someone else's tracks in their journey, because their their story is not yours. You have your own. And God, everyone has a, the relationship is individualized, right? And so you're not you can't base your relationship with God with others, compare it, because your answer to the prayer could be immediate, and it cannot be, it may not be. So you have to build your relationship with God and yourself, so you'll be able to identify. So he may do this immediately, he may do this gradually. You may even, you may get something the next day. However, you have to be able, you have to be okay and be able to really sit down with yourself and finally concentrate on you. And this is where the question comes in. The question comes in. And this is where okay, I want to make sure everyone can hear me. The question comes, who am I? Who am I? Those are some powerful, that's a powerful question to go to God with. And I promise you, He's going to blow your mind. Blow your mind. And you're going to be even amazed. You're going to be like, wait a minute. God, I missed out on this, God. I didn't see this. This is me. And let me tell you what I mean. Let me kind of explain. So, me, for instance, since I'm taking you this journey with me. So, after the narcissistic abuse, I I was torn to pieces within, and I I was hopeless. I was lost. I didn't know where where to go, navigate. And God, He did it so fast, y'all, that I'm trying to remember everything, but He set me down. And when I mean set me down, I mean I had went into like a mode of I just didn't feel like doing anything. All I want to do was just sit. All I want to do is just sit down or just lay my head on my pillow and just sit there. Or just drive my car and just drive, just go. And I'm going to tell y'all, God talks to me in my car so much. Like, and I think I know why, because he's so funny. I think I know why. Because he probably feels like this is the only time I can get Keisha to really sit and be still. And I'm like, God, of all things, you do this while I'm driving. And now I got to try to keep my notebook up. Do I have to, on my phone, my notes, do I have to sit back, God, like truly listen and not write? Or you want me to pull on the side of the road? So he talks to me definitely while I'm driving. But he talks to me even when I'm still in, reading or listening to music. He talks to me in different ways, y'all. So you can't put him in a box, okay? Because he's so amazing and he's powerful. So I want to go back to me being a writer, an author. I did not know I was an author until one day, and I don't know if Dr. Nikita Davis is listening right now, but but um, I always wrote my story and journal it, right? And I was like, I know God, this gonna be a book. In my mind, I put all this on paper, and guess what I thought, y'all? I thought that I was gonna give this right, because I think I even told my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm just gonna give this to a publisher or someone, and they can just put it together, or they can help me write, or whatever the case may be. Lord knows, Dr. Nikita um, had a book collaboration, Boss Moms, and I decided to put my story in there. And and I wrote. I was like, I'm actually writing. I didn't know I had this in me. So, really, truly, y'all, it didn't hit me right then. I'm going to be honest. It hit me, but it didn't really, really hit me. So, I became a number one best-selling author. All right. So, I started writing other books and my story. And just pay mine now. My book that's coming out soon, I was still writing. But as I'm journaling and keeping a note on, okay, my book got to come out, my story, my story, like my whole story. So I just started putting pieces in each, like I was layering, like it was a layer of me being an author, y'all. Like I was this collaboration. I was with Dr. T, um, and then I was with ERAM, and then I was a visionary for the power of breaking the silence, the blueprint of a survivor, where beautiful women, my friends, we all came together and put this book together for survivors. And so, y'all pay mine, I'm still writing. And that's when I am like super duper self aware. And I'm like, I'm actually writing. I sat down one day and I said, I cannot, I'm amazed. I always, admired my mom because she wrote poetry and things like that. And I never thought that I would be writing. I just remember her, but me. All right. So then, as I journeyed, then I started speaking. Okay, now I'm a speaker. Wait, God, wait, what? What I'm doing? Who? Me? Speaking internationally? Africa. What? No, God. Wait, hold on. Some people won't even think you're qualified, but God saying otherwise. So this is where the stage is at, where you gonna say, "Who am I?" and you gonna listen to God. You gonna block the noise out. It's just gonna be you and Him, and He gonna tell you. He gonna show you in many ways who you are and what you are in Christ, and who you are. Right. So then, I hope I'm not losing track, y'all. Then He took me on a journey where, now I'm speaking, and then all of a sudden, now He's saying, I need you to produce your show. You need a television show. I need you to, build this platform for other women. I'm like, okay. So I started off with a conference, brought speakers on. Um, I believe it was the waiting room conference. Then I went from doing the conference to, okay, it's time for my television show. So then Dr. Carolyn, I love her too. She said, come on, join the network. You can, be a TV host. Y'all, I went from being a TV host to the owner of a channel of my own TV network where I can bring in women of God or women from all walks in life to this platform to host their own TV show. They can bring in their commercials, they can bring in guests. Then he showed me ministry. Now, of course, as a ministering, you're ministering to people, you let God use you. Whew, y'all. So I'm gonna tell you, this right here, I struggle with because I grew up in the 80s, and I just remember so many people saying, I was taught, I was, I was taught I was in a Baptist church. So I was taught that women don't even supposed to even preach, teach, nothing. A woman supposed to be quiet. So I was, when he brought to mind ministry, I said, God, I'm not no. I know you. I mean, because in my mind, everybody meant the pulpit. The pulpit. The first thing you think about, y'all, when you hear pastoring or ministering, you think about the pulpit. You in there preaching, and God said, He broke it down. He said, no, that's not your avenue. Follow me, okay, God. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and talk to God and keep going. And okay, God, you give me the direction. I fought it, and then boom, I said, you know what? God has called me to minister. I got my license. I'm a licensed ordained minister. All right. So, um, then he showed me narcissistic abuse recovery. So I started my online recovery center, and it was Open Arms OAC, Open Arms Connection Recovery Center. And I dreamed of, I aspired to open up a facility. And I said, well, we can do it virtual. I can travel. And I'm saying all this to say, y'all, and I wear many hats. I wear many, many, many hats. And, a lot of people they do ask me, when do you find the time to do all this? Oh, also, I'm a singer and a songwriter. Okay, I have music on major platforms, y'all. And I'm still recording. Um, so I'm like, okay, God. People asking me, well, how you find time to do all this stuff? And I said, it's not about the time, it's about the timing. He uses you in capacities in different times and what had to put on that day. Pay mine, I'm also an international life coach, Christian counselor, certified Christian counselor. So, a marriage counselor. So he shows me which direction to go and how he want to use me in that capacity. So I'm saying that to say you will find out who you are when you sit with yourself. A lot of people don't sit with themselves. They run. They're scared of the silence. They're scared of what the mind is going to produce, or even memories or things that's going to come to you, and it's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable, but that's okay. That's how you know when it's right. When you're uncomfortable and you gather your thoughts and you invest in your healing, you invest in you, you give yourself grace, you give yourself forgiveness, and you give yourself okay to not be okay. And you can say to yourself, I'm okay with being still right now. If you want to go and sleep for 12 hours, I'm just giving a number, 8 hours, whatever God leads you to do that. You don't have to be busy all the time. If God telling you to sit and rest, do that. Because he's doing something. And you're gonna you're gonna get into this routine where you gonna know when God is talking. You're gonna know when it's time for you to do and move. You're gonna know when you sit, when you're supposed to need to sit and be still. After that abuse, you don't know who you are because you spent so much time and energy and investment and pouring into that relationship and into that person, that you now have to pour into you. Now it's time for you to give all that back to yourself. It's time for you to get you together, and it's not a quick process. I had to realize that. I thought, yes, I'm finally getting to me. And now I want to rush. I want to rush forward. I'm ready. God was like, Takesha, enjoy the process. You don't have to rush. Enjoy the process. Enjoy this. So when you look back, you can remember the lessons, the growth, the tools you're going to need to help someone else. Who am I? Is the question after the abuse. Because I just remember I was so deep into the cheating, trying to figure out, playing investigator, FBI, trying to find out what he was doing. Can't sleep at night because I couldn't trust him. I thought, well, who is he with now? I had no peace. All I thought about was him. This relationship. Me praying to God, please, Lord, blessing the change. God, please. Empty prayers. Empty prayers was my answer. It was not meant for me to get God to change that man. But it was good for me to go to God and pray about him and pray. So when you in that relationship, that toxicity, you not thinking about who are you. You may see glimpses. You may do certain little things while you in that relationship, but you're not working at your full capacity. You're not really truly learning the full image. You're not getting the full view. This view, you're looking at just this singular thing, this one thing, and that's that relationship and this person. So you're not going to realize the capabilities, the gifts that God has instilled in you, because you're worrying about this relationship, this marriage. Oh, what somebody else is saying. What am You're confused because you putting so much into this relationship, and you putting so much into this person that you are slowly chipping away at yourself. You losing you. The man for you, you're gonna have a purpose. He's gonna have a purpose. And then you all have a relationship purpose. That's separate. What are y'all doing in the relationship purpose is going to be a reflection of God. But you got to first learn who you are and know who you are in order to even pour and get into the relationship purpose if you don't even know you. So when you so busy following someone that don't even know themselves or know what their purpose is, they're going to lead you down a road of confusion and destruction and chaos. There's no peace. There's no peace in that. And of course, you can say all day, but I love them, but I love them, but I love them. But you can't love what's broken to bring it back to pieces, the pieces, and bring them back together. There's no love them from a distance, but you need to love yourself more. That's not being selfish, because you got to find out who you are. You got to know what God needs you to do. You got to know direction. You can't get that if you are so enmeshed in that toxicity. So guess what? After the abuse, this is your time. This is your time to relax, regulate your emotions, regulate your mind, train your brain to not work in survival mode, because the things y'all you do in survival mode, you're not gonna do in your peace and in your healing journey. It's gonna be totally different. Survival mode, you high alert, you looking for something all the time, you never rest because you just know something about to happen. You on high alert all the time, and then your emotions everywhere, and then you don't know what this is, you don't know what that is, you questionable, you question this, you question that, you don't know, oh my God, what is this? I feel like I'm going crazy. This is your time. This is your time to evaluate your values. This is your time to evaluate your why. And when you get those values and you put them in writing, and you think about these values, you clarify them, and you stick to them. And if anyone can't respect that or they don't meet that value point, it's time to do what? Boundaries. In order for you to have a clear vision of who you are, you got to set boundaries. Because there's times where God's going to want you to be alone in a certain time, and you have to be able to say no to, oh girl, I can't go out tonight. Or you making me feel uncomfortable. Please don't do that. You have a different way of saying it. I'm just, this is an example. But in order for you to find out who you are after the abuse, you have to sit with yourself. You have to invest again in yourself. And that's, of course, you got the Holy Spirit, you got God, you got Jesus. And sometimes He will put people, most of the time, He will put people in your life that He wants you to connect with or to. And He'll work through them as well. So it's okay to get a coach. It's okay to get a counselor. It's okay to get a therapist. We have to throw away those old traditions where people say, well, all you got to do is pray. It takes more than prayer. Faith without works is dead. You have to move. You got to go. Pray, go. Pray, go. Move. Pray, move. Pray and move. Pray and move. Be still, yes. But you got to put some action in it. Because when you take a step, God gonna take 50 more. But you have to move. You have to move in the direction of learning who you are, your purpose. And when you grow into you higher, you definitely gonna have to be able to fully operate in that higher level. Because you got to remember, if you are flying, you all the way up there in that, like airplane, you that high, and you don't have any oxygen. It's a specific type of oxygen level that God want to give you up there. So if you don't do the work down here before you get up there, you're not going to be able to handle the oxygen mask that He put on your face. You're going to feel like you can't breathe. You're going to feel like you can't do it. Your self-esteem may get low. You going you going to feel defeated. So I'm saying tonight to discover who you are. And who you are. Drown out the noise. Drown out the comparison. Please don't compare please don't compare yourself, your who am I, to who someone else is. It's who am I, not who is she or who is he, so I can discover who am I. What works for them may not work for you. The tools you may need, it may not be applicable to them or you from what they have. And you got to remember, social media can be so toxic. You see so much you see so many people living and doing this and doing that, and they showing all this glamour, but you don't know what somebody had to do to get there. And they may just be putting on a show. So that's why you have to stay in your lane and worry about your who am I street or who am I road. You stay on that, you drive that lane. You stay in that lane. You stay on that path. You drive that. Don't go over and cross over to someone else's pathway. God gave you that one big lane to go, not to hop over to that lane and go the wrong way. All right, y'all. I love you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Who am I? Who am I? All right, y'all. Have a good night. I'll see you next week.